Okay, so we're ready to do the prayer. Homage to the eternal, abiding Buddhas, the Supreme Dharma, the Shishi Sangha throughout the Dharma realm, the realm of empty space, and the three pillars of time. Homage to the fundamental teacher, Supreme Buddha, may three honors future Buddha, may sure great wisdom Bodhisattva, universal great conduct Bodhisattva, all the Dhamma garden Deva Bodhisattva, and the magic mountain assembly Buddhas and Bodhisattva. Homage to Amitabha Buddha in the land of ultimate bliss, Avalokitesvara, grace, compassion, Bodhisattva, restraint, Bodhisattva, restored great vows, Bodhisattva, and the assembly of great purity light, Bodhisattva. Evening recital, recall the Buddha to your mind, homage and refuge. Namo Buddhayam, Namo Dhammayam, Namo Sanghayam, homage to the enlightened Buddhas, perfect in wisdom and compassion. Homage to the noble Dharma, the universal law the Buddha taught. Homage to the holy Sangha, the protectors of the noble Dharma. To the triple gems, I go for refuge. May the triple gems bless and protect me and my loved ones tonight. May we be free from harm and danger. May we overcome our difficulties. May we always meet with success. May we be blessed with good health, strength, peace, and happiness. May our parents, brothers, sisters, teachers, friends, and relatives be well and happy. May they be free from harm and danger. If they're faced with harm and dangers, I wish that they overcome their anxieties quickly. If they're faced with ill health, I wish that they gain good health soon. May the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha bless and protect them. Protect me and my loved ones tonight. O blessed one, keep us away from harm and danger. Let our sleep be peaceful, so that we awake in the morning refreshed in body and mind. If I have strayed from the true path, may I never do so again. If I have carelessly hurt someone today by word or deed, may I be more mindful the next time. O Buddha, the enlightened ones, help me to set my heart right. May my actions reflect your love and compassion. I shall strive to cleanse my heart from hate and envy and live in harmony with all people. I shall be close to the Dharma in good as well as in difficult times. I know that should a moment come for me to leave the world, I shall do so without fear or regret. because I leave the world a better person than when they came into it. Whatever wrong someone may do to me, may be compassionate and forgive and be no hatred in my heart. I shall be in mind to be grateful for acts of love and consideration shown to me, no matter how small they appear to be, for those I love and those who love me. May this life be a blessing and a source of happiness to all beings. Namo Buddhaya. Sharing merit. I would like to share the merit I have gathered today as well as in the past with Devas. May they rejoice in these merits and keep an eye on me and my loved ones. I will also to transfer this merit to my departed relatives and friends. Wherever they are, may they be free from suffering and be happy.
The Jewel Discourse. The occasion for this discourse, in brief, according to the commentary, is as follows. The city of Vaisali was afflicted by a famine causing death, especially to the poor folk. Due to the presence of decaying corpses, the evil spirits began to haunt the city. This was followed by a pestilence. Plagued by these three fears of famine, non-human beings, and pestilence, the citizens sought the help of the Buddha, who was then living at Rasagaya. Followed by a large number of monks, including the Venerable Ananda, his attendant disciple, the Buddha came to the city of Vaisali. With the arrival of the master, there were torrential rains which swept away the petrifying corpses. The atmosphere became purified, the city was clean. Thereupon, the Buddha delivered this jewel discourse to the Venerable Ananda and gave him instructions as to how he should tour the city, with the Lichavi citizen reciting the discourse as a mark of protection to the people of Vaisali. The Venerable Ananda followed the instructions and sprinkled the sanctified water from the Buddha's own alms bowl. As a consequence, the evil spirits were exorcised, the pestilence subsided. Thereafter, the Venerable Ananda returned with the citizen of Vaisali to the public hall where the Buddha and his disciples had assembled awaiting his arrival. There, the Buddha recited the same jewel discourse to the gathering. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, may they all have peace of mind, and may they listen attentively to these words. O beings, listen closely. May you all radiate loving kindness to those human beings who, by day and night, bring offerings to you. Wherefore, protect them with diligence. Whatever treasure there be either in the world beyond, whatever precious jewel there be in the heavenly worlds, there is not comparable to the Tathagata. This precious jewel is the Buddha. By this truth may there be happiness. That cessation, the detachment, the deathlessness supreme, the calm and collected Sakyan sage had realized. There is not comparable to this Dhamma. This precious jewel is the Dhamma. By this truth may there be happiness. The Supreme Buddha extolled a path of purity, calling it the path which unfailingly brings concentration. There is not comparable to this concentration. This precious jewel is the Dhamma. By this truth may there be happiness. The 8 persons extolled by virtuous men constitute 4 pairs. They are the disciples of the Buddha and are worthy of offerings. Gifts given to them yields rich results. This precious jewel is the Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. With a steadfast mind and applying themselves well in the dispensation of the Buddha Gautama, free from, they have attained to that which should be attained, encountering the deathless. They enjoy the peace of Nibbana freely obtained. This precious jewel is a Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. As a post deep planted in the earth stands, unshaken by the winds from the four quarters, so too, I declare, is the righteous man who comprehends with wisdom the noble truths. This blessed joy is a Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. Those who realize the noble truths, well taught by him who is profound in wisdom, even though they may be exceedingly heedless, they will not take an eighth existence. This precious jewel is the Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. With his gaining of insight by abandoned state of mind, namely self-illusion, doubt, and indulgence in meaningless rites and rituals, should there be any, he is also fully freed from four states of wu, and therefore incapable of committing the six major wrongdoings. This precious jewel is the Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. Any evil action he may still do by deed, word, or thought, he is incapable of concealing it. Then it has been proclaimed that such concealing is impossible for one who has seen the path. This precious joy is the Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. As the woodland grows, though in the early heat of the summer month, are crowned by blossoming flowers, even so in the sublime Dhamma leading to the calm of Nirvana, which is taught by the highest good. This precious joy is the Buddha. By this truth may there be happiness. The peerless excellent one, the knower, the giver, the bringer, taught the excellent Dhamma. This precious joy is the Buddha. By this truth may there be happiness. Their past is spent, their new no more arises. Their mind to future becoming is unattached. Their germ has died. They have no more desire for reliving. Those wise men fade out as the flame of this lamp has. This precious joy is the Sangha. By this truth may there be happiness. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come let us salute the Buddha, like Tathagata, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come let us salute the perfect Dhamma, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness. Whatever beings are assembled here, terrestrial or celestial, come let us salute the perfect Sangha, honored by gods and men. May there be happiness.
Metta Sutta, Discourse on Loving Kindness. She who is skilled in doing good and who wishes to attain that state of calm should act thus. She should be able, upright, perfectly upright, obedient, gentle, and humble, contented, easily looked after, with few duties, simple in livelihood, controlled in senses, discreet, not impudent, not really attached to families. She should not commit any slight wrong so that other wise beings might find fault in her. May all beings be happy and safe. May their hearts be wholesome. Whatsoever living beings there are, feeble or strong, long, stout, or medium, short, small, or large, seen or unseen, those dwelling far or near, those who are born, and those who are to be born, may all beings, without exception, be happy-minded. Let not one deceive another, nor despise any person whatsoever in any place. In anger or ill will, let her not wish any harm to another. Just as a mother would protect her only child at the risk of her own life, even so, let her cultivate a boundless heart towards all beings. Let thoughts of boundless love pervade the whole world, above, below, and across, without any obstruction, without any hatred, without any enemy. Whether she stands, walks, sits, or lies down, as long as she is awake, she should develop this mindfulness. This, they say, is the highest conduct here, not falling into error, virtuous, endowed with insight. She discards attachment to sensuous desires. Truly, She does not come again to be conceived in a womb. By the firm determination of this truth, may I ever be well.
The Buddha's mansion, the Jinapanjara. The heroes, having defeated the evil one, together with his army, mounted the seat of victory. These leaders of men have drunk the nectar of the four truths. May all the 28 chief Buddhas, such as Buddha, Kanhamkara, and other noble sages, rest on my head. May the Buddhas rest on my head, the Dhamma on my eyes, the Sangha, the abode of all virtues, on my shoulders. May Anuruddha rest on my heart, Sariputta on my right, Kondana on my back, and Mogalyana on my left. And on my right ear are Ananda and Rahula. On my left are Kassapa and Mahanarna. On my back at the end of my hair sits the glorious Lord Sobhita, who is radiant like the sun. The fluent speaker, the Lord Kumara Kassapa, the abode of virtue, ever rests in my mouth. On my forehead, like tilakas, are the 5 theras, Puna, Angulimala, Upali, Nanda, and Savali. The other 80 theras, the victorious disciples of the conqueror, shining in the glory of their virtues, rest on the other parts of my body. The jewel discourse is in my front. On my right is the discourse of loving kindness. The Dajaga is on my back. On my left is the Angulimala discourse. The protective discourse Kanda, Mora, and Atanitiya are like the heavenly vault. The others are like a rampart around me. Ever engaged in 4 duties do I dwell in the Buddha mansion, fortified by the commanding power of the Buddha and decked by the wall of the Dhamma. The power of their infinite virtues, by the power of their infinite virtues, may all internal and external troubles caused by air, bile, etc., come to naught without exception. May all those great personages ever protect me who am dwelling in the center of the Buddha mansion on this earth. Protecting myself thus in every way, overcoming all troubles by the power of the conqueror, may I, by the grace of the Buddha, defeat the hostile army of passions and live guarded by the sublime Dhamma. Protecting myself thus in every way, overcoming all troubles by the power of the conqueror, may I, by the grace of the Dhamma, defeat the hostile army of passions and live guarded by the sublime Dhamma. Protecting myself thus in every way, overcoming all troubles by the power of the conqueror, may I, by the grace of the Sangha, defeat the hostile army of passions and live guarded by the sublime Dhamma. I am surrounded by the rampart of the sublime Dhamma. The 8 Aryans are in the 8 directions. The 8 benefactors are in the intermediate directions. The Buddha stands like a canopy above me. The Buddha who sat at the foot of the Bodhi and defeated the army of the evil one stands on my head. The venerable Mogalyana is on my left shoulder, and the venerable Sariputta is on my right shoulder. The Dhamma dwells in my heart's core. The Bodhisattva who is born a peacock and who shines as the sole benefactor of the world shields my feet. All ill luck, misfortunes, ill omens, diseases, evil planetary influences, blame, dangers, fears, undesirable dreams, may they all come to naught by the power of the noble Buddha. All ill luck, misfortunes, ill omens, diseases, evil planetary influences, blame, dangers, fears, undesirable dreams, may they all come to naught by the power of the noble Dhamma. All ill luck, misfortunes, ill omens, diseases, evil planetary influences, blame, dangers, fears, undesirable dreams, may they all come to naught by the power of the noble Sangha.
Buddha Nusati. A virtuous disciple should practice the following fourfold contemplation. Namely, reflection on the Buddha, reflection on compassion, reflection on the loathsome nature of everything, and reflection on the nature of death. An understanding disciple should contemplate on the Buddha's infinite and pervasive virtues. That the Buddha alone has destroyed all defilements, revealing an extremely pure mind, always deserving action. That the Buddha has rightly realized in all their aspects, manifesting to all times, and has attained supreme enlightenment entirely through his own. That the leader is endowed with the knowledge such as Vipassana, and the Karana Sila, that the Buddha has rightly gone to the blissful state. He is endowed with fruitful speech. He has known the three worlds in their entirety. That the Buddha has become supreme among all beings by his power. He has by various means subdued those who should be subdued. That the Buddha is a great teacher to the entire world. He is a noble treasure of qualities such as fortune and prosperity. That the Buddha's wisdom is all-pervasive, and compassion extends to all. He is a benefactor unto himself and others. He is supreme in all qualities. That the Buddha elevated himself by the wisdom gained through the perfections by preaching the doctrine in all its and elevated others through his compassion. It is impossible to visualize Buddha even in his Rupakaya. How much more inconceivable is his Dharmakaya of unique wisdom.
The Sutra on the Eight Realization of the Great Beings. A disciple of Buddha should wholeheartedly and often, whether day and night, recite and reflect on the eight realizations of Bodhisattvas. 1. Understand that the world is impermanent. Nations are fragile and prone to collapse by nature. The four elements are empty, dependent only on causes and conditions, and lead to suffering. Living beings are only collection of the five aggregates of form, sense, thought, actions, and consciousness that they accumulate through time and have no independent shelf. Life is constantly changing and comes to an end. Is an illusion and impermanent. The mind is the source of all evil, and the body is a mash of sun. If we reflect on these things, we can gradually become free of samsara, the abyss of suffering. 2. Understand that greater desire leads to suffering. Difficulty in life arises from greed and desire. People with few desires, let events run their nature course, are able to be at ease in body and mind. 3. Know that the mind is never satisfied and always pursues more. This leads to an ever-increasing number of impure actions. Bodhisattvas are not like this. They are content and reciting the sutras and practicing in a simple way as they wisely choose as their only pursuits. 4. Realize that laziness will lead to degeneration. Always try to improve yourself and break through a vexation of bad vices. Destroy the four kinds of evil, which hide and break free from the 5 sankhas and the 18 dhatu. 5. Realize that ignorance leads to the cycle of life and death. Bodhisattva often recite the sutras, study widely, and ask many questions to increase their knowledge. With the wisdom and eloquence that they gain, they are able to teach everybody to realize great joy. 6. Realize that poverty creates resentment, which leads to a negative cycle of causes and conditions. When practicing giving, Bodhisattvas treat everyone equally, friends and enemies alike. Bodhisattvas do not hold grudges or judge based on past mistakes, nor they hate or treat any other beings as enemies. 7. Be aware that the 5 desires lead to misfortune. Even thought we are ordinary people. We should not pursue worldly desires. A monk had needs only 3 ropes and 1 bowl. He wishes only to be a monk and to practice the way, holding His precepts keep him free of worldly attachments, and he has compassion for all. 8. Realize that the fire of samsara are raging and causing immeasurable suffering. We should take the vow to help everyone cross the other shore. Take the vow to help relieve the suffering of all living beings and lead them to a great joy. These 8 realizations are the realization of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They have diligently practiced the way with compassion and wisdom to ferry the Dhammakaya both to Narayana, to the reborn in Samsara, to help all living beings. These 8 realizations can enlighten all living beings to understand the suffering of life and death, to give up the 5 desires, and to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. If a Buddhist disciple recites the 8 realizations, then he or she will extinguish immeasurable sin. He or she will enter into enlightenment and quickly ascend to the correct understanding, forever breaking the cycle of suffering in life and death and attaining eternal joy.
The Course on Blessing, Mangala Sutra. Thus I have heard on one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at monastery of Anatta Pandika in Yetta Grove near Savatthi. When the night was far spent, a certain deity whose suspensing splendor illuminated the entire Yetta Grove came to the presence of the Blessed One, and drawing near, respectfully saluted and stood at one side. Standing thus, he addressed the Blessed One in verse. Many deities and men, yearning after good, have ponders on blessing. Pray, tell me the supreme blessing. Not to follow or associate with fools, to associate with the wise, and honor those who are worthy of honor. This is the supreme blessing. To reside in suitable locality, to have done meritorious acts in the past, and to have set oneself on the right course for emancipation. This is the supreme blessing. Vast learning, perfect handicraft, a highly trained discipline, and pleasant speech. This is the supreme blessing. The support of father and mother, the children of wife and children, and peaceful occupations. This is the supreme blessing. Liberty, righteous conduct, the helping of relatives, and blameless actions. This is the supreme blessing. To cease and abstain from evil, forbearance, with respect to intoxicants, and steadfastness in virtue. This is the supreme blessing. Reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude, and important healing of the Dharma. This is the supreme blessing. Patient, obedience, sight of samanas, and religious expressing that Jewish region. This is the supreme blessing. Self-control, pure life, perception of the noble truth, and the realization of nirvana. This is the supreme blessing. He whose mind does not flutter by contact with the worldly contingency, soulless, sinless, and secure. This is the supreme blessing. To them, fulfilling matters such as these everywhere invincible, and every way moving and happening. These are the supreme blessings.
Transparent verse. May every living beings are mind as one and graduate with light, share the fruit of peace with hearts of goodness. luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow live their gift and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pains turn into paradise. More becomes compassionate and wise. More becomes compassionate and wise. We, the Buddhist monasteries, communities at the Buddha Place Temple, and other Buddhist centers and Buddhist friends around the country, hold this special prayer for our well-being that may the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless everyone around the globe to be safe and have strength and spirit physically, mentally, and spiritually to overcome this crisis moment. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless the doctor, nurses, and all healthcare providers to have tremendous strength and spirit to provide proper treatments for the COVID-19 patients. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless all COVID-19 patients to be recovered from this illness soon. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless the scientists to develop proper vaccinations to keep people from this deadly coronavirus soon. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless all officers from all levels of governments around the country and the globe to work together in dealing with this great pandemic effectively. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless that this deadly coronavirus be subdued soon so that we could get back to our normal life. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless those who have lost their lives due to this coronavirus. We take better rebirths in celestial realms and human realm. May everyone care, respect, and love each other and work together during this crisis moment without any discriminations and aversions.